Have you ever felt like you're just going through the motions? Like you know you're called, but you can't quite figure out to what? Like there's something more in you, but your current life doesn't reflect it. You love God, you go to church, you do the right things, but deep down, there's this quiet frustration, a tension that just won't go away, a thought that keeps coming back. I know I was made for more. I was made for more than this. What if the problem isn't that you're missing your purpose? What if the problem is you've been looking for it in the wrong place? What if you've been waiting for a platform while standing in your assignment? Today, I want to show you why so many believers feel disconnected from their purpose, even though they're already walking in it. You're not going to want to miss this.
Welcome to the Dave Martin Podcast.
Hey, welcome back to the Dave Martin Podcast. I'm Dr. Dave, your success coach, and I want you to lock in today, okay? Not halfway. Don't be multitasking. You need to hear this because this right here, what we're going to share, this is going to bring clarity to something that has confused a lot of people for years. And before we jump in, make sure you subscribe. Come on, make sure you drop a comment. I love to hear from you. I look at them. Make sure you share this. Tell somebody else about it. And I believe this message is going to unlock people who have been faithful, but they're frustrated. You've been obeying God, but if we're honest, there's a little part of you that's like, God, I thought obedience was supposed to come with clearer instructions. Let's talk about it honestly. A lot of believers feel disconnected, not from God, but from purpose. And that's a different kind of tension, because when you're disconnected from God, you know what to do. You pray, you worship, you get back in alignment. But when you're disconnected from purpose, sometimes it's harder to identify because everything on the outside looks right. I mean, they love God, they're consistent, showing up, doing the right things, going to church, serving on Sundays. They're doing all those things. Faithful, but underneath it all, there's this quiet question. Doesn't always come out loud, but it's there. Am I really doing what I'm called to do? Is this it? Is this what my life is supposed to look like? And if we're honest, a lot of people feel like the answer is no, I'm not. Have you ever felt like that? Like you're doing everything you know to do, but something still feels off. Like you're checking all the boxes, but you feel you're not feeling fulfilled. Like your life is good, but just something's not lined up. It's not aligned. And here's what makes it frustrating. You can't point to anything wrong. Nothing's broken. Nothing's falling apart. But something just feels like it's missing. It's like showing up to a job every single day, doing the work, but feeling like I know I'm capable of so much more than this. Not more money or not more success, more meaning, more impact, more alignment. So what do people do? They start questioning everything. Well, should I just get a new job? Maybe I'll change jobs. Do I need to go into ministry? Maybe that's what I'm really called to do. Or do I start something new? Did I miss God? And slowly frustration begins to build. Not loud frustration, quiet frustration. The kind that sits in your thoughts. The kind that follows you home. The kind that whispers, there has to be more. But let me challenge that thought. What if the issue isn't that there isn't more? What if the issue is you haven't recognized where you already are? Because disconnection from purpose is rarely about absence. It's more about awareness. You're not lost. You're not behind. You may just be misaligned in how you see your own life. If you've been taught that purpose only exists on a stage, then of course, your everyday life will feel insignificant. If you've been taught that purpose looks like a microphone, then your Monday will always feel a little disconnected. But what if purpose looks like leading in a meeting? What if purpose looks like having integrity in a hard decision? What if purpose looks like how you treat people when nobody's watching? What if purpose isn't something you step into one day, but something that you're already walking in? You just don't realize it. You're walking in it just without realizing. Because here's the truth. You don't feel disconnected from purpose. You feel disconnected from your perception of purpose. And the moment that shifts, everything begins to change. You stop asking questions like, am I doing the right thing? And you start asking, how can I do this with purpose? You stop waiting for something new and you start engaging with what's already in front of you. Because purpose isn't found in a different place. It's revealed in the place you already are in. And I believe for some of you right now, that tension you've been feeling, it's not telling you to run. It's telling you to see things differently. Because you're not disconnected. You're positioned. If you missed last time, the podcast last week, you need to go back and watch that. It's about getting in position, and you are in position. And here's why. Because for years, we've defined purpose too narrowly. We've told people, if you're called, then you got to be, you're in ministry. You'll be in ministry. You'll be preaching. If you're called, you'll be on a stage somewhere. Now you've got faithful people sitting in the seats thinking, I must be missing it. I'm not doing that. I'm not there. Because what if the issue isn't your calling? What if the issue is your definition of what your calling is? Let me say, this might help you. You don't feel disconnected from purpose. You feel disconnected from what you've been told purpose is supposed to look like, because in your definition of purpose, it looks one way, a church role maybe, or a ministry, an anointing, a stage, a microphone. We think that is what it is. But it's so much more. Your everyday life always feels, well, it's going to, if that's how you think, it's always going to feel less than. But purpose is influence. It's impact. If purpose is solving problems, leading people, creating value, adding value. Now, if you define purpose like that, everything changes. So now we go to the scripture and we see Joseph was in prison. When Joseph was in prison, was he out of his purpose? No, he was just in preparation. When David was in the field, was he out of his purpose? No, he was in a time of development. Daniel was in a foreign country. Was he out of purpose? No, he was positioned. God almost never starts with a platform. He always starts with an assignment. And the platform follows obedience. Before David ever stood before a nation, he stood alone in a field. No applause, no audience, no recognition, just a bunch of sheep and some responsibility. But in that hidden place, he developed what would sustain him in the spotlight. He killed a lion. He killed a bear. He learned to worship. He learned to trust God. The palace came much later. The field came first. Moses, he was in the wilderness doing something ordinary. And that's where God met him. Not in visibility, not on a stage somewhere, in faithfulness. God didn't interrupt his ambition. God interrupted his assignment. How about when Jesus called the disciples? I mean, they weren't preparing sermons or writing the New Testament. They were working. They were fishing, collecting taxes, handling responsibility. And Jesus didn't say, hey, build a platform first. No, he said, hey, come follow me. And after their obedience, then came the platform. When you wait for a platform, you delay obedience. You miss growth. You overlook what God already gave you. But Scripture shows us your current assignment, where you are today, where you are right now, is your proving ground. A friend of mine, Kurt Warner, one of the greatest stories of waiting. We went to church together in Scottsdale years ago, and I remember we did it was funny, the first time I met him, all-star quarterback. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But then he did Dancing with the Stars. And the first time I met him, of course, I knew who he was, but he had been on Dancing with the Stars. I said, man, so great to meet you. I love you on Dancing with the Stars. He goes, oh, thanks. That's awesome. I said, well, what did you do before that? He looked at me like, are you, what do you mean what I do before that? He was a great great NFL quarterback. And he wasn't just drafted into the NFL. He didn't get opportunities that everyone else was chasing. In fact, he got cut. He got cut from the NFL. His dream didn't happen. The door didn't open. The platform didn't come. What did he do? Did he quit? No. He went to work at a grocery store. Could that have been where God was positioning him? Stocking shelves, late nights, early mornings, minimum recognition. Now think about that. You've got a man with NFL level talent putting cans on shelves. And that's where most of us would say we would have failed the test right then. We would have missed the opportunity. Here's where most people would miss it. The season looks like failure. It looked like failure. But if you've ever heard me say it before, failure is fertilizer. It was actually a time of preparation for him. And then he got another small opportunity. Oh, not in the NFL. I know this must be it. No, arena football. Not a big stage. Not the bright lights, small crowds, low pay, less visibility. He didn't say, well, this isn't what I'm called to do. I'm called the NFL. No, he said, okay, if I'm here, he said, if I'm going to make the most, I'm going to be faithful where I'm at. And as he was faithful in arena football, he got a shot back in the NFL, not as a starter, as a backup. He came in as a waiting again, hidden, again, feeling overlooked. Then one moment changed everything. The starting quarterback goes down, and suddenly the opportunity he's been waiting for, it was right in front of him. And here's the key. He didn't rise to the moment. He revealed what he had built in the waiting. And what happens next? Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, Hall of Fame career. And listen, it didn't start when he stepped on the field. It started when nobody was watching. In the grocery store, in Arena League, in the backup role. So here's the lesson. You don't wait. Don't wait till the platform. He didn't wait till the platform. He didn't wait till the opportunity. He was preparing. He became who he was called to be. He became it before the platform ever showed up. And that's where so many people get stuck. They're waiting to be seen before they become. They're waiting for opportunity before they prepare. They're waiting for recognition before they develop. But the kingdom doesn't work like that. God doesn't promote potential. He promotes faithfulness. So while you're waiting, you're not stuck. While you're waiting, you're being shaped. You're being developed. While you're waiting, you're not being overlooked. You're being developed. While you're waiting, you're not behind. You're being prepared. What do you do in obscurity? What you do there determines how you'll handle the opportunities, because your current assignment is not where you're wasting time. It's where you're building capacity. And if you miss that, listen, if you miss that, you'll spend your life waiting for something bigger while neglecting what God has already given you. What feels hidden to you is often preparation, refinement, testing, positioning, and God is watching. How do you lead without recognition? How do you serve without applause? How do you steward what's already in your hands? Because faithfulness precedes elevation. Tom Brady, since we're on quarterbacks, NFL quarterbacks, nobody expected Tom Brady to be great. Nobody expected it. He wasn't a star. He wasn't the first pick in the draft. He was way down the line. He wasn't even supposed to play. He was a backup, low draft pick, overlooked, undervalued. But when the moment came, when the starting quarterback, again, got injured, my son plays football. I'm telling him, you got to be ready all the time. You may say, well, I'm second string. Well, one injury and now you're up. Are you prepared? Do you know the plays? Are you ready? Tom Brady wasn't the starting quarterback. The starting quarterback got injured, but he was already prepared. And he didn't step into a moment unready. He stepped into it developed. And what people call an overnight success was actually years of hidden preparation. What do they say? Success is where opportunity meets preparation. Film study, discipline, consistency, focus. When the pressure came, he didn't collapse. He executed. Here's the lesson. Don't wait for the moment to prepare. He prepared before the moment came. And that's what most people miss. They want visibility without development. They want opportunity without preparation. They want influence without responsibility. Stop asking, when will God give me a platform? When's going to give me, God's going to, no, start asking, am I being faithful in my current assignment? Because in the kingdom, platforms are entrusted, not pursued. Purpose is not where you are seen, it's where you're sent. And a lot of people are ignoring where they've been sent because it doesn't look like what they expected. Listen, it took me a long time to get where I'm at today. And a lot of the things I did along the way didn't look like where I saw it or my platform. That's your platform. I was dyeing hair, dyeing beards, and making 3 o'clock runs to Walgreens for men. Some of you, you're frustrated. This is my assignment. This is what I got to do. Make a run to Walgreens at 2 in the morning and get some hair dye. Not because it's wrong, but because you've never seen it as right. You've been saying, this can't be it. This is what I'm doing. But what if it is it? What if that's your preparation time? I'm so grateful for those moments because where I am today, what if the place you're trying to leave is actually the place that God is trying to use to develop you? What if your office is your assignment? What if your business is your ministry? What if your leadership role is your platform? God is not waiting to use you someday. He wants to use you where you are. He's already placed you somewhere. And the issue is not access. The issue is awareness. And when you don't understand your assignment, you'll undervalue your environment. You show up casually to something that God intended strategically. You're not behind. You're not late. You're not off track. You may just be looking at your life through the wrong lens. And when the lens changes, now everything else changes. I wrote a book called Mindset Matters. When you change the way you look at things, the things that you're looking at will begin to change. Everything changes. You stop saying things like, I can't wait to leave this job. And you start asking, why did God place me here? You stop seeing coworkers as people you tolerate, and you start seeing them as people you're assigned to impact. You stop going through the motions and you start moving with intention because now you understand this isn't random, this is strategic. When purpose is misunderstood, frustration increases. When purpose is revealed, now clarity begins to replace the confusion. And I believe right now for some of you, clarity's hitting. You're like, oh, now I see. You're realizing I've been in my assignment the whole time. I hope this is helping you. If this is helping you, listen, we're going to keep going on this the next few weeks. Don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe so you know next week it'll pop right up. You'll be ready. Subscribe, share this with someone. Tell them to join us on this journey as we really discuss. I'm telling you, we're going to get into some really powerful things over the next few weeks. So subscribe, share it, and I want to see your comments. comment. Go ahead. It's fine. I want to see your comments. Drop it in there. Let me know what you're learning. Let me know what's jumping out at you. So drop a comment. And I want you to declare this with me today. As we end, I'm going to try every week when we end, I'm going to try to get you, I want you to say a declaration with me. Okay? Say, I'm not disconnected. I am positioned. One more time. Let's say it together. Say it again. I'm not disconnected. I am positioned. All right? We're going to keep going on it next episode. So don't miss the Dave Martin podcast. Make sure you're connected with us, and we'll keep going on it. All right? We're going deeper. We're going to talk about it. Here's what we're going to talk about next week. Why God didn't call everyone to a pulpit ministry or a preaching ministry, or why he called you to your ministry, and what he actually called you to do instead. It's going to be powerful. So I hope you'll be with us next time right here. Hey, we're just getting started, okay? This is where everything starts getting really clear.